embodies it better than Logan Paul. His career has been a long trail of controversies and scandals, but the first and arguably worst of them came in late 2017, when he posted a video filmed in Japan's infamous forest, also known as the forest. In the vlog, Logan and his team filmed the remains of a man who had decided to end everything in that forest, all while laughing at the tragedy with a disgusting lack of empathy.
When it comes to that Logan Paul situation, truth to be told, it's a tragic situation. The reason why it got to that level is because Logan Paul thought that everything is meant to be filmed. At that moment, no one in his camp told him like, hey, listen, that is not okay. Do not put that on the internet. And truth to be told, I just don't blame Logan Paul. I blame everyone that was surrounding him. They should have told him that that is not okay to put on the internet. But they thought it was going to give them a lot of clicks and a lot of views. That is the reason why they posted it. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I fell upon a very interesting video called The 7 Levels of YouTube Downfall by Internet Anarchists. Now, I do not want to spoil the video, so let's just jump right into it.
Fame on YouTube means freedom, creative power, money, and millions waiting for your next upload. But the higher you climb, the harder you fall, because on this platform, no one stays on top forever, and not all YouTube downfalls are equal.
I couldn't agree more. YouTube gives you an opportunity to be able to be big and make millions of dollars. But YouTube, the higher you climb, the harder your fall would feel. And people do fall down in different ways. Some is by their own hand, some others is just the audience growing up.
While some creators fall from grace and quickly recover,
a wallpaper app called Panels, and I made a lot of mistakes, and so appropriately the entire internet was very disappointed, and that's 100% on me.
Others disappear overnight, with their careers burned to ashes at their own hands. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we are talking about the 7 levels of YouTube downfall. How it all starts with one minor slip up or a harmless lie from the creator, but with every level escalates into something darker, until the fame, the audience, and the entire YouTube empire collapse under the weight of their own ego. And as you'll see by the end of this video, some creators lose not just their careers, but their freedom as well.
Truth to be told, some of these YouTubers end up being broke. Why? Because the more money they make on YouTube, the higher their standards of living becomes.
However, at the first level, the downfall is not anything even close to career ending. It's just a bump in the road, a small controversy that sparks some temporary backlash from the internet. Level 1. Minor controversy. Almost every creator faces this at some point, and most of the time, it's caused when the creator does something that clashes with the values they've spent years building. For instance, ever since Eric started posting regularly in 2019, he has earned billions of views through larger-than-life stunts like making the world's largest pizza, spending $100,000 on Facebook Marketplace, and breaking 100 laws in 24 hours. A big part of his appeal has always been his dedication to keeping the content authentic while still delivering those over-the-top challenges. But then he started his 30-day traveling around the world series.
Starting December 1st, I'm going to be traveling around the entire globe, uploading 30 videos in 30 days.
And less than a week into the challenge, he was exposed for faking parts of it by pre-recording videos. The fans were disappointed to say the least. Bro has 15 million subs and is rich as F, and he is faking traveling the world.
The one thing you should never do on YouTube is to fake your videos, because your audience will know. They are not stupid.
I used to praise Eric as a top 5 YouTuber, but this evidence is undeniable. Viewers were upset with Eric, as this went against the raw, authentic image they'd always associated with his content. The same pattern showed up when MKBHD, YouTube's The Tech Guy, launched his very own wallpaper app Panels. The internet almost immediately slammed the app for having a poor design, too many ads, and above all, charging $50 a year to use it. Many criticized MKBHD for going against the very principles he'd built his reputation on, and for being out of touch with his own audience. But like I said earlier, backlash at level 1 is always temporary.
Listen guys, you can't be mad at your content creators. The reason why is because they are also trying to make money as much as if you were in their position, you would try to make money. So if they're trying to sell you something, sometimes it's okay for you to buy just to show support.
Criticism doesn't spiral into a full-blown cancellation because most creators at this stage learn quickly. They acknowledge the mistake, make amends, and move on before things get out of hand. So when MKBHD put out a video addressing the controversy around his app, he didn't try to deflect criticism or make excuses. Instead, he simply explained what went wrong and how he planned to fix it. And the response was overwhelmingly positive.
When it comes to YouTube, your audience is like your best friend. They will tell you when you are wrong and they will support you when people are going against you. All you have to do is to be truthful. For example, like KB, he just said, hey, listen, this that I did wasn't okay. I plan to fix it. That is as simple as that. He did not make no excuses for his action. He just said, I'll fix it.
Fans praised his honesty and humility, turning this into one of, if not the most well-received apology videos in YouTube history. But even when creators don't release a public apology, many still manage to move past the backlash by quietly changing direction. For example, after being called out for faking some of his content, Iraq didn't dwell on the controversy. Instead, he quietly shifted his focus. He moved away from the idea of authenticity as his core value and leaned into creating consistently high-production, entertaining videos. And that shift worked, as in the last couple of years, Iraq has continued to grow at an incredible pace, because at this stage, a downfall isn't about destruction, it's a wake-up call, one that most creators recover from.
I believe Iraq did a very good decision by focusing on the creativity instead of the authenticity of his videos, because people do not really care about how authentic a video is, so far as it is entertaining. The only time they care is when you tell them that the video was authentic and they get to find out that it's not authentic. Then they become mad and then they resent you for it. And I think that that is something that you shouldn't do. You should just make your video and post it.
But the deeper we go, the harder that recovery becomes. And as we move into the second level, the fallout from the creators' mistakes begins to test the strength of their reputation.
In my personal opinion, I don't believe that level 1 is that bad. I think that all you could do is apologize and try to do better.
Level 2. Dent to reputation. This is where the consequences start to hit closer to home, and the audience begins to question if the creator they've supported all along is really who they thought they were. The damage may not destroy a career, but it's serious enough to force creators into damage control. A perfect example of this is Linus Tech Tips. Linus is one of the OGs of YouTube, who's been creating content since 2012. Over the years, he's built a massive business empire worth over $100 million, supported by an audience of millions who trust him and his team for honest, unbiased reviews of the latest tech. But all of that came under fire when another YouTube channel, Gamers Nexus, called LTT out. Gamers Nexus released an investigation exposing a number of problems with the LTT content, including inaccurate data, false claims, and misleading opinions. And for a company built on the expertise and accuracy, this was a serious blow. Naturally, the LTT community felt betrayed by what they saw as unprofessional and careless practices. In response, Linus and his team released a 20-minute apology video featuring several members of the community, acknowledging their mistakes and promising major internal changes.
That is one thing that people do not understand about the internet. If you make your YouTube a fraud YouTube or you're trying to mislead people, they are going to find out. And when they find out, they're going to come against you. And when they come against you, it's hard for them to trust you. So I believe that what he should have done is he should have been honest with his audience from the get-go.
But the community's response was divided. While some viewers appreciated the transparency, others remained unconvinced, questioning whether the company had lost touch with the values that made them credible in the first place. But the repercussions at this level don't always come from the audience. Sometimes, a creator's actions reach beyond public perception and start to shake the trust of the brands and the sponsors that keep their channels alive.
That is definitely true. Your audience is your bread and butter. And if your audience does not trust you, your brand is messed up. And other brands wouldn't want to collab with you because they think you are a liar or your brand lies or leads people to misinformation. That is why it is very important to be honest from the get-go with your audience.
Like PewDiePie. At the height of his career in 2017, he faced massive backlash after making an anti-Semitic joke in one video, and later using the N-word during a live stream. And while the initial reaction online was intense, Felix managed to calm the situation fairly quickly by addressing it and issuing a public apology.
I said the worst word I could possibly think of, and it just sort of slipped out. And I'm not gonna make any excuses to why it did, because there are no excuses for it.
The one thing I don't understand about all these YouTubers is, why do you people use black people as a punching bag?
I'm really sorry if I offended, hurt, or disappointed anyone with all of this. Being in the position I am, I should know better.
But redeeming himself in the eyes of his audience wasn't enough. Several major sponsors, including Disney, cut ties with him almost overnight. Still, even with these severe consequences, both PewDiePie and Linus Tech Tips managed to bounce back over time. By owning their mistakes and showing consistent accountability, they slowly earned back the trust of their audiences and their partners. Because at this level, redemption is still on the table. The damage feels serious in the moment, but it's temporary. And for the creators who take responsibility, the downfall becomes just another chapter in their story. But past this point, redemption isn't really an option anymore.
I personally believe that level 2 is not that bad. It's a little bit different from level 1, but it is not that bad. The reason why is because they can apologize and the audience can forgive them and they can change from their action.
Level 3. Drama and exposure. At level 3, the consequences start to dig deeper. The creator's actions trigger full-blown internet controversies, drawing the attention of commentary channels and major news outlets. And even after the drama dies down, their reputation never fully recovers. In other words, the creator's name becomes tied to the controversy itself. Sniperwolf is among this category of YouTubers. In 2023, she became the center of a major controversy after many accused her of stealing content under the label of reaction videos. Much of this criticism came after YouTuber Jax Films made a number of videos calling her out for violating fair use laws and monetizing stolen content without even crediting the original creators. At the time, Sniperwolf was one of YouTube's biggest creators, with more than 30 million subscribers.
I'm happy for the 480 subscribers that I have.
Making the controversy impossible to ignore. But instead of easing the tension, Sniperwolf's response only pushed things into a dangerous territory. In a petty attempt at revenge, she doxed Jack's home address to her millions of Instagram followers.
Alright, right in front of your house. Come out and talk to me. He has food outside, so he should be out any minute now to pick it up. It's ice cream as well. It's ice cream. I just want to talk.
Putting Jack and his wife's safety at serious risk. Naturally, this reckless behavior escalated the controversy overnight. Creators across YouTube condemned her actions, with many openly demanding her to be removed from the platform.
I would have to side up with the audience. It is not okay for someone to just show up at your door just because people have a beef. If people have a beef, people can talk it out on the phone or people plan to meet, but just don't show up at my door randomly. What would happen if you had something or you were planning to do something to me? You understand? It's not okay.
There is no reason why she is not open to termination. YouTube should actually be fair in this and terminate her channel, or at least heavily restrict it, or severely punish her.
In the end, YouTube lets the incident slide with a relatively minor punishment of a temporary demonetization, but the actual damage done was permanent. The incident ruined her overall image and turned her name into a symbol of everything wrong with reaction content. Even today, she's remembered more for stealing content and the doxing scandal than anything else she's done on the platform. But a downfall like this doesn't always come from one explosive controversy. In many cases, it's a pattern of disgusting behavior from the creator, refusing to learn, grow, or take accountability that slowly destroys their reputation. And
if you do not take accountabilities for your action, it would destroy the reputation that you have with your audience, and your audience will not trust you. If you do not learn from your mistakes, your audience wouldn't stick with you.
no one embodies it better than Logan Paul. His career has been a long trail of controversies and scandals, but the first and arguably worst of them came in late 2017, when he posted a video filmed in Japan's infamous forest, also known as the forest. In the vlog, Logan and his team filmed the remains of a man who had decided to end everything in that forest, all while laughing at the tragedy with a disgusting lack of empathy.
When it comes to that Logan Paul situation, truth to be told, it's a tragic situation. The reason why it got to that level is because Logan Paul thought that everything is meant to be filmed. At that moment, no one in his camp told him like, hey, listen, that is not okay. Do not put that on the internet. And truth to be told, I just don't blame Logan Paul. I blame everyone that was surrounding him. They should have told him that that is not okay to put on the internet. But they thought it was going to give them a lot of clicks and a lot of views. That is the reason why they posted it.
The video went viral for all the wrong reasons, sparking international outrage, forcing YouTube to cut ties with him temporarily. But as disturbing as it was, had Logan genuinely reflected on the incident and changed his behavior, he could have still recovered over time. Instead, his career became a cycle of reckless decisions, each one erasing whatever progress he made towards redemption. Over the years, Logan has been accused of everything from animal abuse to scamming his own fans through shady crypto projects. And while much like Sniper Wolf, he still racks up hundreds of thousands of views, his public image is permanently stained, with him widely known as one of the most toxic creators on the platform.
I do believe that Logan Paul's image has been redeemed. The reason why is because he's doing WWE now, and those people are such a big fan of him. But I also agree with him. If Logan Paul would have apologized properly for his action, it wouldn't have led to this. And the reason why Logan Paul went on a spiral down is because he was trying to get back his view. He was trying to get back to the top, and that made him do some other dumb videos. I just think if he would have just properly apologized, everything would have been okay.
But as we move into the next level, the audience's patience finally runs out, and even the most loyal fans walk away.
Level 4. Complete collapse of credibility.
At level 4, the damage goes far beyond reputation. This is when a creator's downfall becomes disgraceful, as the audience loses all faith and even the most loyal fans turn their backs. This level includes early YouTube stars like FuzzyTube and Kid Behind a Camera, who are now remembered only as cautionary examples of self-destruction. But
I do not know about the other guy, but I do know about FuzzyTube. Fuzzy used to be very popular before, and it is sad to see his downfall. That just shows you that YouTube is not forever. You will not be popular forever. You might be popular for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, maybe 1 year, and maybe even for some couple of weeks, but it is not meant to last if you do not have an audience that believes in you.
Level 4 downfalls don't happen overnight. They're the result of long-term manipulation, where a creator keeps deceiving their audience, milking their loyalty for views, money, or clout until there's nothing left of it. Boogie2988 is one of the clearest examples of this slow decline. By the late 2010s, his fans had already begun losing patience with his repeated lies about his personal life, and a series of insensitive jokes that slowly wore down his nice guy image. Then, the September 2020 incident, where he threatened fellow YouTuber Frank Hassel using a firearm, served as another example of his irresponsible and arrogant behavior. Things only got worse with the release of the documentary The Dark, Sad Life of Boogie2988. It exposed his misogynistic views, addiction to hiring escorts, and complete lack of accountability for his actions.
I'm a firm believer of that. If you are going through something in life, you shouldn't put it out on the internet. You should deal with it privately. That is my personal belief. Comment below what you guys think.
These revelations destroyed the humble and wholesome persona he was once known for. He's a real-life Bojack, a self-destructive, self-centered broken person that brings everyone around them down and refuses to improve. Boogie is the definition of "my life is hard and I don't want to change it, please give me sympathy." But the final nail in the coffin came when streamer Destiny publicly exposed Boogie for lying about having a rare blood cancer.
Boogie2488, you are being confronted tonight. I am 99% sure that you are faking. No, don't move. You are faking your cancer diagnosis, Boogie.
Boogie had been using this disgusting lie for years to
For the love of me, I cannot understand why Boogie would fake that he has a rare form of blood cancer. Why would you wish that upon yourself?
gained sympathy and financial support from fans. And once the truth came out, any remaining faith the viewers had in him vanished completely. He's been bleeding subscribers ever since, and whatever audience he has left is only there to laugh at him. That said, not every downfall at this level is driven by greed or desperation. Sometimes it's ego and the ugly abuse of power that brings a creator crashing down.
I believe it is a combination of both. I believe that Boogie wanted to use his audience for money, but I also believe that Boogie did not want to grow and did not want to take accountability for his life. Him trying to scam his audience for money shows that he has no morals. And his audience can see that, and they're like, hey, we don't want to associate with you anymore.
Jeffree Star was once one of the biggest names in the beauty industry. At his peak, he sold out entire makeup collections within minutes, building an empire that seemed immune to controversy. However, that illusion started to crack in the late 2010s, when several people close to him began exposing his manipulative and arrogant behavior behind the scenes. And while these allegations alone might not have been enough to destroy Jeffree's massive career, his constant involvement in drama after drama slowly wore down the patience of his fans. His mask completely slipped away with the infamous 2020 Business Insider investigation. The report detailed a long history of disgusting behavior and accused him of racism, physical abuse, SA, and more, which ultimately ruined the illusion of his untouchable career for good. But the next level takes things even further, stepping into a darker, more depraved territory.
Level 5.
In my personal opinion, I do not believe level 4 is that bad, but I do believe that if you do not handle it well, it can end your career. But more likely, if you handle it well by taking accountability and learning from your mistakes, your audience will stick with you.
Careers destroyed.
At this stage, it's no longer just the audience that abandons the creator. The entire internet unites against them, and the consequences follow them for life. Level 5 downfalls require something far more sinister than ego issues and manipulative behavior. They are usually triggered when a creator is accused of something deeply disturbing, and these allegations are backed by undeniable evidence that leaves no room for excuses or explanations. For example, in 2023, a number of former fans accused Colleen Ballinger of predatory behavior towards them while they were still minors. Colleen had over 8 million subscribers at the time, and a majority of this audience was children. So naturally, as soon as
there are people that are in their age group that they could go after. Why are they going after minor?
These allegations surfaced, they spread like wildfire, with her 2 decades-long online empire collapsing almost overnight. Her sponsors cut ties, tours were cancelled, and creators across the platform publicly distanced themselves from her. She made one last desperate attempt to save her career with her tone-deaf ukulele apology video.
I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans.
And to no one's surprise,
if you have done something, you should own up to it. People are not mad at you because you replied to your fan, but it's in the manner of which you replied to your fan that was so disgusting, especially when you are with minors.
This turned into a meme almost instantly, cementing her downfall as one of the most humiliating in YouTube history. And it's not just creators like Colleen. Even those standing at the top of the platform aren't safe once they cross this line. Until mid-2024, Chris Tyson, now known as Ava Tyson, was one of the main faces in the MrBeast empire.
Everyone knows that Chris is one of the original people that was with MrBeast in the beginning, and now he has fallen down to the bottom because of the things he did behind the scene. When this accusation came out, I was like, nah, it cannot be possible. But to find out that it is actually true was sickening.
Appearing in countless videos for the biggest YouTube channel on the planet, but none of it saved them from the fallout that came from a series of predatory and grooming allegations towards minor fans in June 2024. As soon as evidence surfaced online, it took less than a week for their entire career to fall apart. Their apology only made the outrage worse, with thousands demanding them to be put behind bars. MrBeast publicly cut ties with them, and Ava disappeared from the internet entirely.
I forgot, he changed his name to Ava, now he's a girl.
But while Ava chose to disappear, creators at the next level don't even get that choice.
Level 6 Deplatforming.
Level 6 belongs to those who make shock value their brand. They'll say or do anything for attention, even if that attention comes in the form of hate. In that sense, these creators are always heading towards their inevitable downfall, and the list includes names like Master Oogway aka Omar Sastem, whose entire career was built on provoking disgust. At first, he scraped views through low-effort stolen videos, feeding off other people's work. But once that stopped working, he decided to rely on controversy, leaning into the most disgraceful behavior imaginable. He started using racial slurs.
So, I'm gonna say it for the first time in my life properly.
To be honest, I'm not surprised that all these big YouTubers do use the N-word.
Releasing a song glorifying Adolf Hitler.
Kung Fu Panda. Adolf Hitler is my the barrel.
And even being accused of exploiting the ongoing suffering of Palestinians just to farm views and followers.
Attention is a very powerful drug because now he is showing us that he's willing to sell his moral characters just to get views.
Eventually, YouTube had seen enough. On June 20, 2024, Sastem's channel was permanently terminated for hate speech. And every time he's tried to return under a new name, he's been instantly banned. But when creators reach this point, the destruction doesn't stay online for long, and the consequences of their antics start spilling into their real lives.
I was very happy that YouTube banned him. The reason why is because he was becoming a nuisance on the internet. And the reason why he was becoming a nuisance on the internet is because he believed shock value was going to rise back up his views, which it did not. It instead made people be furious against him. Because if you're starting to use Hitler and making a song about how Hitler is cool and saying that Hitler is your N-word friend, it's not okay.
Take J Station for example. He became infamous for getting arrested for trespassing, faking paranormal encounters and clickbaiting the death of celebrities like XXXTentacion and YouTuber Etika. And the most depraved of these stunts came in 2020 when he faked his own girlfriend's death, claiming she'd been killed in a car accident.
Last night we lost Alexia to a drunk driver, guys.
How can you lie that your girlfriend has been killed in that car accident? Why would you wish that upon her? I don't clock it.
So, when some ordinary gamers exposed this shameless attempt for internet attention, the fallout was worse than Jason could have ever expected. Not only was his channel permanently removed, but he was also arrested and charged for assaulting his girlfriend. And that's how clout chasers like him turned their hunger for attention into a self-inflicted downfall. But at this level, a downfall means burning down every bridge, both online and in real life.
If you are going to go so far to lie to your audience that your girlfriend died in a car accident when she didn't, it shows already what kind of a human being you are. Your audience are already saying like, listen, we do not want to associate with this guy. This guy is not mentally well.
Because once you're known as the person who makes Nazi songs or fakes loved ones' deaths for views, there's no comeback, no redemption, and no normal life waiting for you on the other side. And for some, even getting banned from the internet would be a light punishment.
Yeah, but I believe that people like this deserve to be banned because their rhetoric would continue rotting the brains of the young ones.
Level 7, Life Ruined.
The 7th level takes the downfall to its darkest point. At this stage, the line between a YouTube downfall and a criminal conviction disappears. And when a creator reaches this point, there's absolutely nothing left to salvage and their career's gone for good. They are left with no income, their personal life is torn to pieces, and they end up exactly where they belong, behind bars. The most recent example of this is Vitaly.
Everyone knows who Vitaly is. Vitaly is known for doing stupid things. And to be honest, I'm surprised that YouTube hasn't yet banned Vitaly.
A YouTuber prankster who rose to fame by storming fields during some of the world's biggest sporting events. And despite multiple run-ins with the law over the years, Vitaly never seemed to learn, as his stunts grew increasingly desperate for attention.
How would he learn? He has never been put behind bars. Except the time when he went to, I believe it's the Philippines, and they decided to put him in jail for the stunt that he was doing there, and I was so happy.
But in March 2025, after announcing his move to the Philippines to start a new chapter as a travel vlogger, his past finally caught up with him. Within days of arriving, he turned into a public menace, harassing locals, annoying security guards, disrupting businesses, and even stealing from local stores. The Philippine
going around and harassing people is not okay. But guess what? Vitaly does not care. So far as he gets view, he will do it.
Government refused to tolerate his disrespect towards their citizens, and on April 2nd, Vitaly was arrested. And while he'd faced legal trouble plenty of times before, this time there was no getting out with a fine or a public apology.
The Philippine government was like, nah, we don't want an apology. We want to make an example out of you because your rhetoric, if we do not correct it now, will make other people that think like you to think that the Philippines is an okay place to come here and harass people. No, we are not going to tolerate that. We are not going to accept your apology. We are going to show you that it is not okay.
The government charged him with multiple serious offenses, including vandalism, unjust vexation, burglary, theft, and unauthorized video recording. And according to reports, if found guilty on all counts, Vitaly will face up to 24 years in prison, in a country infamous for having some of the harshest and most overcrowded prison systems in the world.
In my personal opinion, I believe that Vitaly deserves to sit in prison for a while. That guy has been too much. And the fact that the Philippine police are willing to put him in jail, let him keep him there for 2-3 years. Anyways, guys, that's my personal opinion. Take care, be safe, and bye.